Hi, Budget Builds here with Fancy Paint Time tutorial with...
Sin.
So, what do you have going on here with your little paint?
We've got the three types of colors, the basil green, the chocolate brown, and the black. Black is for the wash.
Hey, you
It's
got a little
rogue.
member there. Is she checking out what you're doing?
Yeah, she loves painting.
She seems like a sweet little kitty.
You know, my baby.
Aww. So, you begin to stroke the brush along the same grain of the wood as you go along. Do you use a medium firmness to it?
Yes.
Okay, so how do you deal with getting the paint inside of the cracks?
Just wiggle the brush in.
Um, does it mess up the tip as you do it?
No, not unless you do extremely hard.
Now, when you deal with the glue beads, how do you choose to paint over them? Do you have to apply extra paint, or is it the same amount and you just come back with a second layer later?
If you have a lot of glue, I think it might be wise to use a latex type paint instead of the acrylic, because when you go to wash it, it'll wash the paint off of it.
Oh, so you feel like the like a latex based paint would hold better to the glue?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
definitely.
Okay. Um, as you deal with the base and you set it down, do you wait for the rest of the piece to dry before you paint the bottom?
In this case, no, but it would be better to let it dry a little bit.
Could you come across it with like a spray paint primer before you do your first coat of paint?
I probably would just save the colors, the cost of, well, I guess it just depends on how quick you want to do it.
I imagine if you primered it, you would lose a little bit of the wood grain as you applied your paint later on.
I would definitely use the primer lightly.
So you're coming across with that basil green. What are you trying to go for with that color?
Fungi.
Okay, so you're going for like a jungle rider look, or maybe like a wet cavern kind of deal.
Like weathered and old and maybe a little damp.
Now, as you get to the splintered edges, how do you apply the dry brush across that?
You have to pat it because it doesn't take strokes very well.
Okay. Now, do you worry about putting too much of the green on as you go along, or do you feel like is that something that could be corrected later?
Anything can be corrected later for the most part, but you just want to imagine what you think it would look like.
Okay. Um, Now, is there anything to keep in mind as you dry brush the glue? Is it the same thing as what you dealt with earlier? The latex paint versus the regular acrylic based paint?
As far as,
Dry brushing it with the green as well across the glue beads that didn't take the paint as well earlier?
yeah, if it was primed, it may not do the same way once you start washing later.
Oh, okay. Um, Now, did you take time and do like a first stroke on the one bridge and get it kind of based on, then work on the second one as that dried,
Yes,
and then just kind of came
just
back and forth?
alternate. Once you get one base coat on, then you alternate. Then you turn it upside down.
And that's now you're getting ready to do your black wash, and that's to make sure that the paint that you came through as before is fully dried, right? And you don't smear it as you come through with later brushes.
Smear the.
The first coat of the original dry brush.
Yeah, you want to make sure it dries completely. Especially with a washer, it'll make it look very mixed, and instead of like different colors.
Now, as you do the black wash with this, how much water do you add to the black as you go for this section?
Um, for this section, I would say that paintbrush is a larger paintbrush, so I just let it soak up water and probably equal amounts of black, maybe a little bit more.
And I see that you don't really worry about if it globs up a little bit. You just take and smear it across whatever areas you haven't quite gotten to yet, right?
Well, at this point, the paint is so thin it kind of runs on its own into the crevices. If it gets to be too dark, just spread it out. It's easy to work with.
Well, it seems to have turned out really well. You know, you finished up the first piece, and that's looking really nice. You're coming across the second piece now, and you know, I just really like how it turned out. It really looks realistic to my point of view. I couldn't really imagine this when I was building this, but you really brought it to life.
Well,
Um,
thanks.
well, if you like this video and you want to see more, just check out our channel some more. You can like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you wish to donate to fund this and see even better content down the road, just see our Cash App tag down below. Thank you and have a nice day.
See ya.